Quick note, we're going to be giving away one gold NFT of ours that we have, so click the link in our bio, follow the steps that are going to be on that link, and we'll be giving out one gold NFT to one of the people that do it. Also, subscribe if you're new, because our next video, we're going to be giving away something insane from blockchain brawlers, so stick around. Now back to the program. It's live. It's finally live. Woo! 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 What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video here today. Do I need to say it? Blockchain Brawlers is now finally live. Can we get a round of applause? Good. Keep it coming. You don't need to stop. Keep it coming. Now, I've been playing this game for about, 24 hours straight, I'd say. And during those 24 hours, I feel like I've learned a thing or two. So in today's video, we're just going to do a little bit of a playthrough, and I'm going to kind of show you guys what I think about the game, what are my future thoughts, what are my, strategies I'm going to be doing, and how I'm going to try and maximize profits in this game. Let's get into it. First things first, I wanted to talk to you guys about, how the game looks, how the layout feels, how the UI is, how the recipes work, what are my opinions on them, what do I feel about gear, rings, etc. Then after that, I'll get to you guys about my strategy, what my future goals are going forward, and actually maximizing my ROI. Now, initially, my first thoughts on the game were, the UI was really clean. It feels, so easy for me going through it. Right here, initially, when you first open the game, I already did it, but you have to, pick your ring, and then you, have the brawlers you own in your wallet. You add them to around here. It has little buttons and everything. I'll throw up a little image for reference so you guys can see what it looks like before everything's filled in. As you can see, you click the add ring button right here, and then over here, you just be adding your brawlers in. What I meant by the UI is just really easy to understand and welcoming for new players is, as you can see right now, it's super easy to show. I just brawled and used my brawlers, and they right now are on cooldown, and it just shows the timer and everything live, and the moment they're ready to brawl, you don't have to reload the website or anything. You just hit brawl again, and everything's just really instant and streamlined. Now, for the people who don't know and are a little bit newer to the game, there's two currencies in this game, one being the brawl token and the other one being gold NFTs. A quick note I will say is gold NFTs are at an RNG rate, and then brawl token is at a fixed rate. And usually how it works, there's a scale. The higher rarity brawlers usually gather more brawl token, and the lower rarity brawlers, like the common Scotty Wide Eyes, which in my opinion are the best for gathering gold NFTs, these are both ingredients that are crucial for crafting and making things. Now, that was as good of a segue as ever to get to the crafting area and talk about it. Getting a first look at the crafting, there's just a few things you really have to note. It's, how much it takes to do recipes. For Scotty Wide Eyes, you can see it takes 4,000 brawl and 6 gold NFTs total. For the Buried Greenhorns, you have your 12 gold, 13,200 brawl. For your Johnny Butterfinger, you got your 27,500 brawl, 24 gold NFTs. And then you got for your Colt Tenderfoot, the 46,400 brawl and 36 gold NFTs needed. Now, like I said earlier, the higher rarity, the more you're going to be earning in brawl. Lower rarity, the more you're going to be earning in gold NFTs. So the Scotty Wide Eyes over here are definitely going to be gaining you more of a gold NFT amount. But then as you go up in the rarity scale, you're slowly increasing your amount of brawl token that you're going to be making in total. That definitely makes it so when you're playing the game, you really got to think, how are you going to maximize both? Some people might want to be maximizing more brawl token, and they're going to be going for, the Colts, the legendaries, and then other people are going to be, trying to maximize more gold NFTs, and they're going to be going for the Scotties, and then pairing them with gear and everything to boost their stats. Now, speaking of gear is actually one of the things that I found is really most important when playing this game. What gear allows you to do is it allows you to maximize the amount of brawl token you're going to be making for a brawler. So let's say, you got a Scotty Wide Eye, and you also got a Brass Knuckles, The base Scotty Wide Eye is making about 70 brawl every single time you do it, but if you pair it with a Brass Knuckles, now you're going to be making around 122 brawl at a fixed rate every single time you brawl. A little note to note, all the items and the gear used, they do have a usage amount, and it goes 250 battles per person. As you upgrade the gear, it just does greater amounts of each. So, you go to your trash can, which is an uncommon, you got your sledgehammer, which is a rare, baseball bat, which is an epic, steel chair, which is a legendary, and it just increases the amount you're going to be gaining in brawl token. And if there's one thing gear taught me in this game, it's literally that you can maximize your stats so much with just a common brawler and be making so much off it. As we said earlier, the Scotty Wide Eyes, they gather much more gold NFTs than any other brawlers, but if you also pair them with the Brass Knuckles, you're boosting their brawl token, and you're getting a really high drop rate. So, segueing to my build right now, we got 3 Scotty Wide Eyes, and 2 of them are paired with Brass Knuckles. This right here is absolutely maximizing the amount of gold I'm making. In the last few days since this game came out, it shows only 8 gold NFTs right now, but I have sold a considerable amount. I want to say I've had around 25 to 26 in total drop in the last just few days from these 3 Scotty Wide Eyes. And what I really want people to understand is you really don't need to get, a legendary brawler to get pretty good ROI in this game. A lot of people might think, you need to go to the legendary legendaries tab, spend $16,000 on a brawler, and then on top of that start getting some Scotties, and you really just don't need to do that at all. As of right now, I'd say the best game plan for most people is, maybe just picking up 2 to 3 Scotties and getting, maybe 2 of them paired with some brass knuckles, because I know it can be really expensive, and then going off of that, getting your gold NFTs maximized and really moving forward like that. Now, a quick few things to note for people, who haven't actually gotten to the game, maybe learned this yet. As much as this game seems like it's a really good moneymaker, and you're probably hearing a lot of talk about it, telegrams and discords, there is drawbacks. When playing a match, and you're using your brawlers to brawl, let's say, as my spreadsheet says right here, my Vic makes 201 brawl every single time he brawls. My Scotty that doesn't have the brass knuckles paired is making 70 brawl, and then my other 2 that would have the brass knuckles are making 120 each. Notice right here, it shows that 10.5 out of 200, that's the health they have currently, and you have to make sure your brawlers are not at 0 health so you can still use them in battle. As you can see right here, my Vic's health is low right now, and to heal him up to full health, I mean, that's 847 brawl. It's not exactly cheap. Ratio at which, when you go into a brawl match, you lose your health, and you have to spend brawl to get that health back. It's about 2/3 of it goes to spending health, 1/3 of it's actually what you make profit. And that goes for my Scotties, and that also goes for my Vic as well. I will say when I pair it with gear, I am making more brawl token in contrast to how much I am losing from health, so it does make up a bit when you have gear. One thing to note right here as well, it says I have 1,228 matches till my ring breaks, as you can see. And these rings by no means are cheap at all. It's about like 6 grand on the secondary market for your average rare ring. Now that adds to the expenses, so you got your healing, you got your rings, and these are a lot when it adds up. So when playing the game, you definitely want to calculate that. You don't want to go in and just start spending things really quick and start crafting things without knowing that, you're going to need to spend some money to get money. So I'd say to all players, calculate how much you're making profit and, really do your math correctly. Now, to get to strategy, let's get into this. I kind of already went over it, but to talk about it in a little bit more detail, my future goals, what I'm going forward with. At the moment, I'm rolling with my legendary brawler right now, my Vic, which is gathering me more brawl than the rest of my brawlers. And then we also got, the Scotties that I talked about, which give me more gold NFTs. We got my one right here that doesn't have brass knuckles, which I'm going for in the future. And we got my other 2 Scotties that have brass knuckles. Now, honestly, I think going for the gold method of getting the most amount of gold NFTs is probably the most profitable, in my opinion, for people who, don't have a tons of money to spend on legendary like items. So in just the 2 days of me playing for my Scotties, I've gotten around like 26 gold NFTs, which is around like $7,000 right now in current market value. That's already more than what I've been making in brawl token profit. Now, I can't say that it'll stay that price forever, but right now it's definitely a really good spot to be in because I feel like the most amount of people are probably going with more of the brawl route where they're trying to maximize their brawl. So they're, getting legendary brawlers, higher rarity brawlers, and they're pairing it with gear. And they're probably not going for as many gold NFTs, and I'm guessing that's why they're selling so quick and at such a high price. As I said earlier, the brass knuckles, they do break, so I'm debating if I want to, go to the crafting, try and slowly upgrade, because a trash can, honestly, is not that big of a jump from a brass knuckles. I probably am going to try and test it out for you guys, to see the difference, maybe bring back another video for you and talk about it. But as I said earlier, I'm kind of sticking with the route of making more gold as I found that's really profitable for me. And then on top of it, I'm still pairing it with gear, so I'm not losing too much brawl at all, considering that, my legendary is making just a bit over 200, and these guys are making 122 brawl, and they're commons only. And that's also with, as you can see, brass knuckles, the lowest amount of gear rarity. As it gets higher gear rarity, I'll talk about how much more it actually affects the brawl amount. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. I actually don't know how much it actually changes it. Now, if the average player is playing this game, and even without my Vic, it's mind-boggling the fact that if I just had these 3 guys, I still would have made $7,000 in the last 2 days, and that's just crazy to me. At the beginning, I knew everyone was just super hyped about the legendaries. We kind of got a little bit FOMO'd into getting one, which I don't have a problem with, but realizing that the commons do make a lot and they're really profitable is good to know. How can you pass up on the Vic when he looks this good? Come on. Now, a lot of people are trying to, maximize their amount of brawlers, but at the moment, that just doesn't make too much sense to me right now. And so I'm kind of sticking with more the route of getting really good gear for them, and that's really doing me the most amount of work. I will say, I feel like, quality over quantity in this game is really important, so, making sure your build is really good, which is why, I'm going to be making sure all my people have their own item, make sure the item's of good rarity, and that's going to boost my amount of brawl really high with just, commons and only a few of them. I don't think you need an 8 brawler ring. I think a 4 brawler ring can do just fine for the majority of people. Sorry if that was really long, but, I just had a lot of stuff I wanted to get to you guys, and hopefully, it was helpful and you enjoyed all the information. That will be just about it for this video, though, so please leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoyed the video. You thought it was good content. Leave some comments down below. Let's start a conversation. Maybe some people read some things that I missed and it'll help them with the game, make them, better, make them make more money. Also, ask me any questions you're unsure about things and I'll try and help you with it out. Now, it's getting late. Seems like it's time to clock out. Till next time. Peace.